So go ahead and pick one of your favorite characters. For ease of use, just use the same one as me and then redo this for another character that you like. I kind of like this J character a lot. And I'm going to go ahead and just select him. And let's see where the download button is. And no, it's around here somewhere. I don't think I have to sign in to download him. So it's actually here. They used to have a download button here, but it's under this drop down here. And go ahead and hit download. And open up this file. All right, with it now open, I'm going to turn on permanently allow execution of scripts and hit allow execution. And what that'll do is if I hit N here, it'll open up it'll add this cloud rig, which is what we're going to need because we're going to be animating the arms. And we don't want to animate the arms using IK, so I'm going to left click on this and just move these both down to 0. And you'll see a subtle shift in the arms. Then I'm going to press N again, and that's going to hide that. All right, so I opened up this reference here, and it's from Richard Williams, and it's just doing a basic run cycle here, and it's about 7 keys. Now, what I'm going to do is the same thing as the walk. I'm just going to space them out from essentially frame 1. So I'm going to hit A here, and then hit A inside of here, and hit X, and then just delete these keyframes. Now, if you hit Control and Tab, you can switch between your graph editor and essentially your playback or timeline area here. So I'm going to click on this so you can see that. And what we want to do is we just want to, and this is again a first kind of pass at how you can animate a run, is we're just going to copy this. And then what we'll do in the next tutorials, we'll do a run across the surface from a standing pose, and then you'll be able to see its complete movement. But right now we're looking at something that's more for games. So I'm just going to hit -X here, just so you can see that you can always reference back to this -X as a, or by clicking -X to see a nice side profile. But for now, let's just go ahead and pose this out. So I'm going to select this foot here. I'm going to hit Shift and Space and just use my Move tool and just shift that foot forward a little bit. And then I'm going to grab this little circle cog here. And there's a couple things I want to do. You can click on bone here, and that'll give you bone transform information, which is what we want. And we can use this to kind of as a rotation tool. So let's go ahead and do that. Then I'm just going to press I to lock that key in. And then I'm going to move this foot forward some more and just hit I to lock that key in. Now, the next thing we want to do is just same thing here. We can play with the rotation. I'm going to rotate that forward, and I'm going to bring this foot up. Now, the thing behind all of this is you want to just make your first pose look really good. And I generally spend a lot of time on this. Now, because this is a tutorial for class, I'm going to rush through all of this. But you generally want to spend a good amount of time just on getting these poses right. And then you can in between or clean it up later. But again, as a first exercise, I'm a big fan of getting through things quickly. You know, like just getting through your first walk cycle, because you're going to have to do a couple good walk cycles before you get to your great one. So just get them out of the way. Do complete walk cycles first. So I'm going to hit A here, and then I'm going to hit I to set a key so that we're kind of locking in this position. And then for the arm, what I'd like to do is I'm going to turn on my, essentially my mirror tool here. And I'm going to go up to data here, and I'm going to turn on 2, and then I'm just going to hit Shift and Space, and then grab my rotation tool and just start rotating those arms down, and then rotate this down as well. Okay. Now you can see that this arm is the opposite arm and the opposite leg move forward. So here's this leg is forward, so that means this arm. So let's turn off X here, and let's put this back on here, is forward. And let's go back to our bone here, and let's play with the rotation here. And it looks like he's too far down, so let's move this side out a little bit, and then let's grab this shoulder controller and let's move this down like that. And then let's grab this and let's just put in some rotation here. Sorry, I keep wanting to rotate on X. And then let's go ahead and show our bones in our hand, and I think that's 6, yeah. And what you can do here is you can select all of these NURB circles that are in the fingers and go back to your transform here, and you can play with, just make sure that these are the only ones selected. Looks like I've got, because I'm holding shift to select more than one. Why is it not letting me just rotate those fingers? Oh, for some reason it's... Let's see if that works. There we go. Okay. Select all of these fingers here. Kind of rotate that into a fist. And it doesn't seem to like that. There we go. Huh. Well, I mean, we might just have to do it kind of ourselves. Because it seems that it only does the last bone option there. Because I think it's just selecting the one. So we'll do something like this. Same thing with the thumb here. We'll rotate it down. Rotate that in a little bit. And actually, you know what? Let's actually make sure that we do that with this arm. The reason for this is because when we go to paste flipped, it's really going to be pasting this side onto that one. So let's just see how this works. So let's go ahead and move this back. Let's grab all of these fingers, rotate them in. And if you remember, it's shift space to select your rotation tool here. Kind of do. I'm going to hold shift and just kind of grab them like that. There we go. Hold control, deselect that. So you get a little something like this. So then I got like meaty fingers. We can kind of clump them all together. Now, if we've got this pose here on one, I'm going to hit A, select all, then hit I to key it. We can kind of expand this out to see that we have all of those selected. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control C here. I'm going to go to frame. We'll do the same thing where we try to do it. Generally, I do this on much lower frames than 24 because this is going to be a very slow run. But let's go ahead and go to frame 12 here, which is the halfway point. And let's just do paste flipped. And now you can see, oops, let's make sure also that we have 25 frames, our end time is 24, and that we just kind of select this first one and just bring it over to 25. And now you can see when we go to play this, we've got a pretty slow run. And we're only on frame 1 here. All right, so I'm going to just treat this like a walk cycle, like I said. Let me zoom in a little bit. And so here we are in frame 1. Let's go ahead and go to frame 4. So I'm holding Alt and scrolling my wheel to 4. And then we're doing something similar where we just kind of flatten out these values. And I'm going to turn on auto key for this. And it's going to flatten this out just like they have here. And I'm going to move the positioning of my character here. So let's grab our move tool. And I want to change this from individual origin to, let's see, from normal to, let's do global. And that's going to give me this up and down. Let's bring this down a little bit. Let's start to, let's see here. Really, we can zero this out and start thinking about just rotating this. And then I'm going to hit G to just bring this up a little bit. So here we are on 1, then 4. And then just like our walk, this is our passing position on 7. So we're going to scroll over to 7. And then it's this front foot stays flat. So let's make sure that we do that by selecting, oops, we don't need this right now. Let's make sure that this foot stays flat on the ground. So we're here, we're on 4, and then we're going to go all the way to 7. And for some reason, this foot, we need to key this out. We have to make sure that this is sitting on the floor. So that's the Z. There we go. Here's 7. And this foot is still hanging back on 7, which is this 2 here. And you can test it. I'm holding Alt and just scrolling this wheel. And then what happens is, this is the push off here on 3 when our character actually leaps into the air before he lands again. So what I'm going to do is, I don't think we need all of these poses. I'm just going to go from here, like on 7. I'm going to let that be my push off. Let's see, to 9. So let's go ahead and really give this, oops, wrong side. Make sure that we got a really nice push off here. I'm going to hit A and then I to set a key. And let's watch that. There's our push off. And then you start to see our character starts to leap into the air. And what we want to do here is also grab that center here. Just move all of that up into the air. We might need to grab that knee controller. Where's that at? I think it's these guys are the knee controllers. Yeah. Come on. Oh, it's these pull vectors. Let's make sure they're way out here. And then we need to get a little bit more hip movement. See, our character goes down, but on 7, which is essentially this right here, this is more of our, this is kind of our 7. Oh, this is more of our 9 here, but it's on 7. So we need to keep this foot here. And we need to make him really stretching out. So here we go. Let's watch it. So here we are on our first pose. And then we're going to here we are on almost on 4. 4 we want to go down a little bit more, so we got a nice bend in our knee. And then we're going to go to 7, which is kind of our passing pose here, and we can go a little bit lower there. 7. And then we're going to go up here on 9. Really stretch out our character, and then we leap in the air, and then we're down on 12. And really, I think 12 should almost be 13. And we're going to move all of these keys around. Let's try moving that on 13. And then we just need to pose it out a little bit. So this is our 13 here. So we can actually move this foot forward a little bit more, and then keep this foot up higher. So what we do next is I'm going to hit A, and then just make sure I hit I to key all of this. Then I'm going to hit Control C to copy that. I'm going to go to Control C, go to 16. So here's our, let's click off, select 4, scroll over, hit Control C, or you can right click copy, go over to 16, paste flipped. Go to 7, click that top key to select everything underneath it. Actually, you can hit A and then I, just make sure that's all keyed. Copy that, Control C. And then we're going to go to 19, paste flipped. And then 11, hit A and then I to key all of that. And then we'll go to 21. We can even try 22 and then do paste flipped. So let's go ahead and watch this, and let's turn off in data all of these, and let's just watch that. There you go. Really basic generic walk or run cycle rather. Looks pretty good. And yeah, we can take a look at polishing that the next video, as well as doing it across a surface.